18 of 30 Days of Purpose. So I will not be on here too long, but I wanted to talk about why you should stop talking stuff. So, what made me want to title this You Should Stop Talking Stuff is because sometimes we get so focused on what everyone else is doing that we forget to focus on what we need to do. We'll start doing stuff like we'll be talking about other people, we'll be focusing on what someone else has besides what it is that we have in our life. And instead of us just taking that as a chance to work on ourselves and focus in on what we should be developing in our life, what we should be doing in our life, we start to focus on comparing ourselves to other people. We start thinking, oh, well, Sarah has 6 cars. I only have one. So Sarah must be doing amazing. And then I'm going to have to go to another room. Hold on 1 second. Trying to do this while I'm in a different location. I will just have to be in here to do this video. So we look at what someone else has, like someone else has 6 cars and we have one, and all of a sudden we start thinking, well, I don't have enough things. Well, maybe since I only have 1 car, then that's it. But let me tell you something about God. He will give you just enough stuff so that you can do everything that it is that you need to do. You don't have to have several things, you don't have to be doing everything. You just need to be doing what it is that God needs you to do. When God gives you a little bit and you take advantage of the little things that God has given you, then He will bless you with more things. He will continuously start adding more and more things onto your life so that you can move to the next level, so that you can advance. And you can't advance without being grateful for where you are right now. If you're being ungrateful and you're saying, oh, I don't have enough of this, I can't do this because of that, then God's not going to give you more in this season, because He only blesses those that are grateful, those that are really appreciative of the things that they truly have in their life right now. And one of the things that I was thinking about earlier today is when we start comparing ourselves to other people. I know I'm like a little scatterbrained, but I'm in a different location. And so usually I'm sitting down and focused. I know what my key points are. I know what things it is that were on my mind or things that I learned earlier in the day. And when I was learning about not talking stuff, I really was thinking about when you're talking about other people. And it's even biblical. It says, don't bear false witness to your neighbor. And also don't gossip. And so those are one of the things that I see that's like the most, it's mostly, those are the things that most people do. Most people will gossip. Most people will bear false witness because they feel a certain way about somebody, because they had a run in with someone, because they didn't agree with what someone else said. Instead of really acknowledging that, hey, even though we didn't agree on something, we could have a mature conversation and talk about it. And then instead of thinking, well, this person is doing this and making up something just to be fitting into a conversation, does not mean that you need to gossip about that person. And I know sometimes it's hard because people will ask you your opinion on things, or you'll have a conversation with someone else and they'll start telling you, well, I think this. Well, what do you think about this? That's like one of the things that I get asked a lot of the times. People will come and I'll be in a situation, I'll be at an event or something, and someone will say, well, what do you think about Sarah? What do you think about Jack? And I have to just be cognizant of the fact that I can't worry about Jack or Sarah. I have to worry about Trinesha. There are things that I'm trying to do in my life, and if I spend all of my time gossiping about someone else, I'm not spending any time focusing on myself. I'm not spending any time doing any of the things that I need to do to move my life forward. And there's nothing more distracting than focusing on someone else. When you look at someone else's journey, like I know a lot of people like to use the example about being single. If I was to worry about, you know, Jane meeting a guy and getting married in 4 months, and I've been single for 2.5 years, and I compared my journey to hers, I wouldn't be grateful for my single season. I would be so busy worried about somebody else's life that isn't on the same journey as me, that's not moving the same way I am, that God is not having them graced or in certain scenario situations, rooms that I'm in. Because maybe God has me in this position because I can speak to other singles. Maybe God has me in the season because I'm not ready yet. maybe the man that God has graced for me is not ready yet as well. And I can't spend this time worried about what Jane is doing in her relationship that's 4 months, because maybe she is going to set an example for kingdom marriages in this moment, in this season. And when my time comes, because I was gracious, because I clapped when Jane got married, because I was happy for Jane, then other people will be happy for me. Other people will celebrate my kingdom marriage. So sometimes when we're judging people, we think we'll never be in that situation. Like, we'll see someone drive a nice car and it's like, oh, they're driving that expensive car. I'd never spend that much money on it. But you never know until you're in that situation. When you start making that kind of money, that's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket compared to the money that you make. So you can't think about comparing yourself to someone else's right now, because someone else was where you were, or less, or more, years ago, but you just saw them at their end stage. You saw them after they accomplished the things that they wanted to accomplish. You saw them after they got the luxury vehicle. You saw them after they moved into this fabulous, huge house or whatever else it is. You saw them after they got married. You didn't see them as they went through the journey. And I think that's what our issue is sometimes, is that we see people going through, we don't see people in the journey. We just see them at the end stage. We see them after they've been single for years and finally found a person, when they're taking pictures online about, being happy. And I don't know why I did air quotes, because I hope and I pray someone is happy and they're with their kingdom spouse, and God is leading their relationship. That's one thing I usually say about people who see the pictures or whatever else. It gives thing that God has grace for me. I don't want what they have. But I also, and whenever I say I'm praying, they stay focused on God, that God is in the center of their relationship, and that they continue to love each other and through everything. Like, even when they don't like each other, they still choose each other. The fact that we will be there one day, and God has blessings, it'll allow us to stop comparing ourselves to other people, because what God has for you is for you, and no one else can take that away. It's not something that God has for you and 12 other people. At this, you only have this one job. You only have this one God. God has several blessings. God would not send the thing that's for me to someone else. That's why I don't have any trouble feeling jealous or insecure about what someone else has. I truly just think about what it is that I'm having in my life in this moment. My biggest flaw, or thing that I work on, is feeling like, while I'm in the waiting season, just having a better heart posture. Because sometimes I get impatient while I'm waiting, and I know God will come through, but I'm like, okay, God. Some days I feel like I can wait 20 years for whatever it is that God's going to do in my life. And then sometimes I feel like I can't wait another day. And that's just me being real. But I have to be mindful of the fact that God is working on His time, not my time. It's His will, not my will, be done. And so while God is doing the things that He needs to do in me, while He is developing me, making me evolve, making me learn, making me grow in the situation, so that I can become a better person, so that I can be stronger, so that He could take the broken pieces of me and mend them, and make me into a more stronger, more resilient person who has learned from every past situation, everything that He's taken me through, every trial, every tribulation, everything that He's growing me through has made me become a better person. And so that has allowed me to be ready for whatever else it is that God has for me. That's what I think that we have to be mindful of. To remember that our life is unique to us and nobody else. So while we are going through this journey, wherever you are in your life, single, married, not in your career of your dreams, in your career of your dreams, trying to go for what it is that you want, whatever it is that you're doing, don't get distracted. Stay focused on you. The adversary will send several things. I've had everything you could think of. I've had people from every which way. It's been every area, person, places, and things have been coming into my life in this season, trying to distract me because I've been focused. because I'm trying to get the things done that I know God has put on my heart for me to do. While I'm in this purpose, while I'm doing all of these things, God, it feels like everything around me has been just trying to distract me. So what I've been doing is staying focused on God. I've been reading my Bible more. I've been spending more time with God. I've been not being guilty. Like instead of being hard on myself, I've been focused and saying, okay, this distraction is there because I must be close. Every time something comes out of nowhere and it tries to distract me or hit my self esteem or make me feel insecure, I remember who God is. And I remember there's no need to be insecure because God is my security. I remember that there's no need to do comparison because what's for me is for me and nobody else could take it away from me. I have to remember that I'm on this journey and it's not going to be easy, but God's there with me every step of the way. He is with me always. And that gives me faith. So stay focused. Do not let anything around you distract you because it's going to get hard. But if you stay focused on God, He will see you through. So if you're about to stay focused, put stay focused in the comments. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube Live. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.